My name's Aleya, and I have a 16-month-old named Anav, and he was born at 34 weeks and 3 days. I had like a typical pregnancy up until then. Um, and then sort of overnight had sudden onset preeclampsia. And so we wound up at the NICU. We wound up transferred from our birth center to the hospital and then ended up at the NICU. And a few days later, that's where we met Emily, who is our PT. And we got to know the team at Masonic. And yeah, I'm really grateful for that team. They came like to work with him right away when he's in the NICU. They set up the expectations really clearly. Here's what's wrong. Here's what we're going to do to help him. We're going to keep you like in the loop every step of the way. And I also feel incredibly grateful that I work for myself. So I didn't have like some parental leave that I needed to work around. I spent every single day at the NICU with like this exact outfit on, but just like a nursing bra and this. And I tucked him into my little kangaroo pouch and sat there every day. And we read books and we listened to music. And we are still like one of his little like best friends is our NICU roommate that we met and her family. We just finished a session of nature school together. Like like I said, like part of that is my skill set of building community everywhere, but part of that is also the tone in which the NICU set, which is you're gonna be here. We don't know how long. We want it to be a safe space. We want you to feel comfortable. We know this is scary or can be. And so they really gave us the opportunity to ask your questions. No one ever cut me off. No one ever made me feel like that's a dumb question. They including like all of the therapists that we met. Everyone came in and introduced themselves. Everyone spent time answering my questions, showed me what to do. He was this big. I mean, I joke that like, people say, "Oh my gosh, how hard was labor and delivery?" And I say, "I don't know, because I delivered a baguette." He was 4 pounds and 4 ounces and 17 inches long. He was very teeny. And even at that small, they still made sure to show me, okay, you can see that he prefers his left side. So here is some exercises that you can do. They really empower the parents to be parents in the NICU. Even when your kid medically has any kind of fragility, you're empowered to still, like, you're still the parent. You're still going to have to take this baby home at some point, and you're going to have to know what to do with them. So from jump, Emily was like, here's the scoop. Here's what he's got. Here's what's going on. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what the long-term effects could be, but might not be. So let's just get working right away and see what we can change while we're here. And I think that all alone is what made it such a positive experience. That's not to say like there weren't moments of like, oh, this is rough. But the truth is like insurance was covering my sleep. Like my overnight sleep didn't suffer like the way that my friends who have newborns. I went home and went to bed, and then at 2 a.m. I woke up and pumped, and then at 6 I woke up and I went over to the hospital, and there were rounds at 9 and I was there. I got full nights of sleep. My baby was in great hands. He was hooked up to monitors all night long. And the truth of the matter is like Enav's biggest difficulties, like his biggest hurdles were he had some breathing things at the beginning. Fine, no big deal. Worked through those, got off of oxygen, and then really his problem was he stunk at gaining weight and he was not great at eating. And once we figured that out, like we got out of there. I also refuse to let the NICU be like a terrible place full of beeping and terrible. I brought a lamp in. I like set up a library. We had our cozy. I had a robe. I mean, like I really made it like we're gonna be here for a while and I don't know how long, so I might as well just like settle in. Multiple of our nurses became our friends and like have babysat for him or came over in the beginning to like give me some hours to take a nap. Like you really create, I mean, I could create community wherever I go. That's just like something that my friends will say, and I feel great about that. It's a good skill. Um, but I'm really so grateful because like still to this day for his birthday, we got them all. We ordered breakfast for everyone, and then we brought like bins of snacks for the team, and just like we were able to see everyone. The person who was in the delivery room with me, who was a NICU nurse like was in the delivery room with me, was the first person to hold him after me. got, we saw her, we've seen her multiple times. We hadn't seen her since we left the NICU. We got to go back on his first birthday and they reunited. It was so sweet. And it's just like, I don't know, I'm so grateful for that space also in a way that it is scary to hear your kid is going to the NICU, but when you have a care team as good as ours, including Emily, including the speech therapist, including the IBCLCs and every single nurse and the doctors, I mean, they're, you're just like put at ease. Like it's a little scary. There are bumps in the road, but like not the entire time. Something I would say to expect for the NICU itself is that there's going to be a lot of wires and a lot of beeping and a lot of people around you all the time. And my takeaway from that is it can either feel incredibly overwhelming and or you can also recognize that that means that there is a full care team there for your family, like not just for your baby, but also for you. And I think that, there's that proverb, like it takes a village to raise a child. And I think something that I feel very grateful for is like if you are a NICU parent, that village is built in from jump. Your kid leaves the room wherever they were delivered and however they were born, and they get to jump into an entire village of people who are there to help you from day one. And that is such a gift that I think sometimes can be overlooked because of the stress and the like scary parts and sometimes the heartbreak of the NICU. But if that, if there's one thing I want to tell parents to take away from that, it's like remember that these people are all on your side. They are all rooting for your baby or babies as hard as you are. And so like go home and go to bed like and trust that these people are going to be watching that monitor in the same intensity that you are. And when you see them doing something that you don't feel comfortable with or you don't know about or you have questions, like say that. You should say that these are people who are also on your team. And um and if you're not walking away feeling empowered, when you leave the NICU, like that's not the end of your journey with them. You still like, I don't know a single nurse who didn't say to me, I know every single kid who I've ever worked with, whether they were here for 24 hours or 2 months or a year, whatever it was, like they do not forget those babies and they do not forget those families. And that alone says to me, like, they're a part of my village, whether they want to be or not. So that's what I would say about the NICU is don't forget that they're on your team. I like to tell people all the time that I'm going to write a book called Team Kid because it's like every person who you surround your kid with, when you're like in these early days, that like they're all on Team Kid. And so if you can keep that in mind, um, then I think like your kid's gonna feel that support also. They're gonna know like this person is here to help even when things are hard. It's like if you can build your team kid, then then your kid's probably bound to be pretty successful.